Check 1, 2. You're all set, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to round 1 of the VPRL Series 9. We have a bit of multi-class action going on for you over the next 3 weeks. We will be watching as 15 drivers take on the Audi RS5 DTM cars, as well as the, if we can find one, the Audi R8 GT3 Evos. Separate classes, so they while they will appear as scored as all together on the leaderboards, they will be driving as separate classes. So we'll be sure to keep an eye on both classes here today, as we are midway through our qualifying session here at Trial Mountain, one of the many fantasy tracks in Gran Turismo 7, and quite the circuit at that. 2 huge straightaways and some very high-speed blind corners, it should be said, so it'll be very interesting to see these drivers tackle, especially that corner as you just saw S7R Nuke go through right there. The crest coming out of turn 2, we'll be looking to see just how many of these drivers get air as we go through. Speaking of our drivers, why don't we give the folks at home a quick run through of who we have on the grid for this series. Currently on the net pole position, S7R de Truth Serum. New face to me, at least. So we'll look to see how he gets on here in VPRL. Pabst, familiar face, returning to the series, making his start. Of course, we have Dean, series regular here with us. We have Miguel, Speed, Ikonen, and then we get down into our GT3 drivers with Nuke, Toto, Lag, 777. Oh, 777's actually not set a lap yet, so we do have one more RS5. Lucky 7, MTB, Alec, and Alec. So 13 drivers with us today, and we'll be watching to see how these drivers get on as we are approaching 4 minutes remaining left in this qualifying session. Truth Serum is still currently leading for the time being. Currently a 3/10 lead over Dean. And still setting purple sector time, so it'll be interesting to see what sort of lap time he might be able to squeeze out of it. And again, through another one of those blind and dipping corners. There are a lot of elevation change here on this circuit as he comes now into this very tricky final chicane. So many different lines that you can take through here, especially as he exits out of the final corner, activates the DRS, drag races it to the line, and actually lost a little bit of time. Dean has set a storming lap time at a 1:37.2, so potential for a 36. Certainly not out of the question just yet, as these drivers will shape up to get... Oh, as around Truth Serum goes, he'll need to reset if he wants to have another crack at it. As we have about 2.5 minutes remaining, so these drivers should all have time for 1, possibly 2 more laps here. As 777, big air over turn 2 with a snap of oversteer to counter. Has jumped himself up into the net second place position. A lot of corners where these drivers can possibly get air, it seems, especially in these DTM drivers with how much more speed they're carrying. So it'll be very fun to watch as 777 really liking how much he's clipping the wall here. Not using DRS yet. Probably setting up for another outlap. Dean running just in front of him on track. Paps currently in the 4th position. Miguel in 5th. Ooh, Alec with a big snap out of turn 3 will go around. And I believe that'll probably do it for his session there. Ikonen currently in the 7th position, our first of the GT3s. As Dean's gone off as well. An unsighted corner. Doesn't look like he has any damage though at the moment, so he'll look to clean off his tires and set himself up for one final attempt with a minute to go in qualifying. 777 now. Flies it through, slaps the ground with getting the air out of turn 2. He's really pushing to try to get that pole lap. As we'll ride on board with him for now. Up by a couple tenths here. Running all the way down to that inside lane. Tags the wall on exit and he's bailed out of it. Dean now looking to see if he can improve his current lap time. 3 tenths down though. Although 2nd and 3rd are currently both in the pits. So if anyone's going to be able to challenge, Pabst would be the next one to potentially get it. As time has now expired. Pabst also down by 2 tenths though. Miguel, are you looking any better? No, also a few tenths down. Alec is not on a flyer. And that will likely do it for the GR2 class. Ikonen has finished his session. Toto, potentially on a lap still, as is Speed. Speed coming through this lovely banked left-hander at the end of the long straightaway. Currently improving, so we'll see what his lap time shapes up to be. Toto also improving as well, though he's 3 tenths down. The 7R Nuke also on a lap. So we will watch the GT3s, see how they get on. Coming into the final chicane. 2 corners to go for Nuke as he rounds his way through. Shaving that wall on exit. As he charges up to the line, does he improve? He does not. Ikonen will be your pole sitter for the GR3 class. Toto will round off, will start 2nd. Speed 3rd, MTB 4th, Nuke 5th, Lucky 7 7th, and Lag will start. Or wait, hang on, I might not know how to count, folks. We'll go through a starting grid proper now, though. Dean currently takes pole position for round 1, followed by 777. Truth Serum rounds out the top 3, followed by Pabst, Miguel, and Alec. Your 6 GR2 drivers in the DTM machines. As we will get started in 2 minutes' time. Moving on to the GN starts set second, speed third, MTB fourth, nuke fifth, 7 sixth. That's why I got confused. And lag will round out the field in 7th. 40-minute race ahead of us. 2 mandatory tire compounds for these drivers to use. Should be a fairly easy one-stop across the field. So we shall see how these drivers get on, and especially what sort of tire strategy they choose to go with. Don't go anywhere, folks. We will be back racing in just a minute. And drivers now readying up with their cars, and we will be getting underway in just a few moments' time. Relatively small wind across the track today, though with how much of the straightaways especially are under cover by tunnels and the surrounding foliage, we don't expect that to have much of an effect. We will expect to see the race transition into night as we get ready to go. Drivers waiting for the lights to come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights on. And we are underway for the opening round of VPRL Series 9. And it's a good start for Dean as he leads the field off into turn 1. Very high-speed kink here. We expect all these drivers to be flat out. Everyone's sizing their way through. Everyone getting a bit of air over the crest as they rocket their way through turns 3 and 4. Top class all through clean, as is the GT3 class. We'll jump back now up to the lead. Dean growing his lead now up to 6/10 already through the first sector. The Truth Serum with a great start up into second. Pabst and 777 battling it out. It looked like we had a car get a bit sideways. That was Pabst, who will drop down to last in the GR2 class. He will hang on to it for now. Truth Serum falling a little bit further behind Dean. As we look back to the GT3 class, Ikonen still leads, followed by Toto, Speed, Nuke, Lucky 7, who is currently fighting with MTB as they come down into this high-speed left-hander. Kissing that inside apex. Lucky 7 off into the wall. He must have missed his braking zone. No damage on the car, fortunately, as he will look to recover. Meanwhile, back up at the front, Dean now already with a 1-second lead over the field. Truth Serum currently running second. Miguel now up to third, followed by I am just now realizing somehow that there are 2 777s. I'm sure that won't be distracting at all. Alec runs in the 5th, and Pabst trying to close back in 6th. As they charge their way over the crest, everyone through. Oh no, we do have a car off. That is 777. Oh, gets rear-ended and he gets spun round. Oh, he had a horrible exit coming over the turn 2 crest. And that's going to cost him dear, as he's got a lot of damage to his vehicle. Front and rear downforce will be hurting tremendously, as well as right front suspension damage. Papst's car is clean, as is Alex, which is good to see, as I believe it was Pabst who had a bit of contact with him, which sent 777 spun round. As we looked like Miguel and Truth Serum were battling it out. I think Truth actually had a bit of a moment as well in that opening sector, as he's dropped now to 2.5 back already from Dean. Now almost 3 seconds back. We'll see if Miguel's able to take advantage of any misfortunes. He's looking back through the field. Ikonen still leading the GT3. Speed now up to second place. Toto has had a problem and has dropped back down to 10th overall. Currently fighting off MTB for that spot. The GT3 Lucky 7 still running in that second to last position. Actually, both Lucky 7 drivers are running second to last in their respective class, as Lack now brings up the rear. Looking back up to the front, Dean has already secured fastest lap of the race for now. Currently running on the medium tire, already extending his advantage on the harder of the two tires. Miguel running that softer tire, so also on the medium. Pabst does have damage. I don't know if he's picked that up very recently, but his car will be hurting. 777, no damage to his car for now. Oh, okay. So I might be an idiot. I've just now realized that damage is only for a short period of time. Can you tell that I've not really done enough homework on this series? 777 currently looking to chase back down Pabst as he runs. Pardon me. He does bring up the rear for the GR2 class. Dean currently still holding a 3-second lead over the rest of the pack. Ikonen, again, also with a 3-second lead over the GT3 field. As Speed, with another further 3 seconds ahead of Nuke, with Toto continuing to close in. Bit of a three-way scrap for 9th place overall. A little wide, potentially, from Toto, and a little slide of oversteer on exit. But he will hold on to it for now as he looks to chase down and regain that 3rd place in class. Nuke with a slide on exit as well. This could give Toto a run, and he does have one. As they come down to the line, does he take a peek? Where does he make the move? He makes it now to the inside. They will be side by side into this high-speed kink. They've got to be careful here. Toto through clean as they make their way over the crest, and all drivers make their way through fine. MTB, I believe, has just picked up a penalty. Yes, he does. Half a second. Not quite sure where he picked that up from. Potentially track limits going through turn 1. Just took a little too much inside curb. He will have to serve that coming up on this back straightaway here. As we look a little further up the grid, jumping up to the 3rd place position, Miguel still trying to chase after Truth Serum, though falling back a little bit now. Truth now 3.5 back from Dean. As we look back to the battle for 5th in GR2. 777 continuing to close in on Pabst. Oh, big slide of oversteer between turns 1 and 2, though that really allowed him to close in on Pabst. There's a little bit of contact potentially. Oh, we're dealing with a lot of lag. unfortunately. As he looks to sail it round his Paps outside. Nothing doing just yet. He'll have to wait for the back straightaway here. As we'll go to right on board with them. Charging down this high-speed back straightaway in the tunnel. DRS not active for some reason. Very interesting. Though he does use the slipstream to great effect, and he will send it down the inside. Oh, he does have DRS open. Why is it? It's very strange why it's... Oh, no, okay. So, once again, you're seeing my... I guess the noob effect of my knowledge of these cars. I would assume that the DRS icon lighting up white just means that it is available to the drivers, but when it actually flashes red, that is when it is active. So, good to know, as he has his indicator on for some reason. Pabst, well, he does have his DRS open, as you can see the flap of the rear wing moving around. We'll continue to bring up the rear. Looking a bit further ahead, GR3, or GR2 seems very spread out at the moment. Dean now with a 4-second lead. We'll actually be coming up to lap traffic fairly within the next lap or two here, so I would expect lap 8 potentially he's up to the back, maybe lap 9 he will catch the currently last place car of, that is Lucky 7 has had another issue, I believe. VPR Lucky 7, I should say. Currently bringing up the rear, and I would imagine Dean will be on his gearbox within, as he's already getting blue flags, so potentially this lap he'll be seeing them. Do we have any other battles on track for the moment? Doesn't seem like it. Oh, hello. Oh, no, that's just the drivers going through the chicane. Paps with a big snap of oversteer. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like there's too many battles on track currently. So we'll ride on board with Dean as he navigates the slower class traffic. Closes right up to the back of him, swings it around the outside as he will jump his way up into the... Well, I'm saying like he's gained a position there. He hasn't. He's just made his way through the first of the 7 GT3 vehicles. And I'm sure it won't be the first time that we see him going through the pack today. We'll keep an eye on these battles for now, as it looks like we might have a battle heating up here. MTB once again catching up to the back of Nuke. Oh, he had a big snap of oversteer, half spun it, I think, potentially as well. Dropped almost 2 seconds on him there through the final chicane, which is unfortunate. Lucky 7 now giving way as Alec, first car into the pits. He will pit off of the medium tire already. This is a very early stop to be making, especially on the medium tire right now. What is the plan here? Very intriguing indeed. Miguel, I would have assumed to be the first of the GR2 cars to pit, given the fact that he's the only one on softs currently. Though he's still making decently respectable lap times to continue on. Truth Serum, once again, making his way around another GT3 machine. Kind of stabilized the gap at about 4 seconds. So that's good to see, although that could be because Dean is currently making his way through some of this tougher traffic. As, yeah, he lost another 2/10, getting held up behind one of those GT3 machines. As Dean will slide his way past Toto in the GT3. As now he has grown his gap up to almost 5 seconds, though it now coming back down as Truth looks to have had a much better exit. Well, I say it was early on in this race. We are already 13 and a half minutes in on this 40-minute set drive, so Perhaps I think Alec is going to have to make at least one more stop. I would assume he'll go for another set of softs. I'm not entirely sure why he decided to pit off of the mediums, especially so early. That's highly interesting. But perhaps if he can make up enough time, all this traffic holding up the leaders, maybe he knows something I don't. Dean now closing up to the back of Ikonen, and that will be the last of the GT3s to clear, and does so with relative ease. Dean now through the GT3s once already, and will continue on. We would imagine he'll probably try to run till about the 25-minute mark at least, you would have to assume, before thinking about pitting. So another 10 minutes to go on these tires at least. Truth Serum now closing in on Ikonen, as Paps now into the pits. Again, a lot of early pits on this, off of this medium tire. And I'm not sure the softs can go 25 minutes. But, you know, perhaps if Miguel is able to somehow pull it off, and perhaps that's a good sign for these drivers. As Truth Serum is really getting held up behind the GT3 leader. Closes up to the back. Ikonen will leave him the inside lane, though that's allowed Miguel to get right. Oh, Miguel thought about a move. Oh, and he's put himself in the wall. He tagged the wall hard, trying to go around the outside of the GT3. Lost a lot of time that he had gained from Truth being held up. So we'll see if he's able to regain those spots, as it looked like I believe someone else had just come into the pits. I'm not sure. Both Pabst and Alec both now on the soft compound tire. Oh, it's 777 with another big slide. As now Truth and Miguel both come into the pits, so that's a bad sign for everyone running the soft compound tires. If he's pitting already to get off of those to go onto the mediums, he will go to the end very easily from here. Again, all these early pits, I'm not... Perhaps it's just me, if this is me personally, I would not be the biggest fan of this call to get off of the mediums this early. As Truth waits on his fuel load to come in. And off he goes to rejoin the track. 777 will up into the second place. Dean now promoted to a 16-second lead as he makes his way to the end of the back straightaway. Now, perhaps it's possible for these drivers to take the softs 25 minutes, but if Miguel's tire wear was anything to go by, that'll be one tall order. This Truth looks to hunt back down his second place that he had prior to the pit stops. Dean continuing on for another lap with 37.9, fastest lap of the race for him. Still putting in very impressive lap times, especially on those older medium compound tires. Really liking how much air he's getting coming off of that turn 2 crest. As the car gets light again coming out of the turn 4 tunnel. 3/10 down on this lap, but still putting in solid pace over his competitors. As we look our way through the grid, just trying to see if there's anyone really in battle range. The closest, I guess, at the moment would be Nuke and Toto, who have also pit fairly recently. A lot of these drivers opting to get off the medium very early. Perhaps they know that the soft can go more than half the distance, and they're just running the medium to get it over with, get it off the car, and run hard to the end. Certainly a bold strategy if that's the case. Speed currently Speed and Ikonen have both been running the softs since the beginning of the race, and they have taken it to halfway. Though again, they are in the GT3s, so perhaps it's just easier for them to be able to manage with. Obviously, with less horsepower, less grip, less load going through the tire. So we'll see if they decide to pit. No, Ikonen stays out for another lap. Speed also chooses to stay out again. Back up front, Dean now onto the back straightaway once more. Still holding a 16.5-second lead. 777 now. Fastest first sector of anyone. We'll see if he's able to convert that into a fastest lap of the race, potentially. Grazing the grass in the wall on exit as he comes down this long back straightaway. Not using DRS, though. Is it possible that... I'm curious if he just doesn't have it mapped. And if that's the case, he's losing a lot of time by not activating it. Still up on a personal best, but not the fastest he's run so far, as Dean now comes into the pits. Get off the medium tire, and we would imagine the softs could probably go the distance to the rest of the way. As we are now little ways past halfway. 777 also into the pits. To get both of these drivers will get off their medium tire. Truth Serum now making his way down the hill, trying to close in on those two, on the top two. And we'll see just how much, if any, time he's been able to make up running those softs. Trying the undercut here, see if it'll work. Dean waiting a long time on fuel here. As Truth now onto the front straightaway. Dean now exits. Oh, and they'll be side by side. The undercut's worked. The undercut has worked for Truth. He is now up into the lead. So, well done to him. I wasn't expecting that. Truth has managed to make the undercut work and has jumped Dean in the pit cycle. But again, he is on much, much older tires. So that we'll see if that tire offset, Dean's able to make that work to his favor. As Truth will start to feel the hurt a lot sooner. As I've also just realized, these top two have both set the fastest lap of the race. They've set identical lap times at a 1:37.923. But because Dean has done it on lap 11, he is credited with the fastest lap because he did it first. And of course, he did it on the medium tire. Whereas Truth has done it very recently on the soft. Very interesting developments. As Dean makes his way through, tires now fully up to temp, as he will chase after the leader. The gap 1 second as he tries to reclaim the lead. Alec about 7.5 seconds off of that battle, though 777 starting to close back in after his blunders early on. Miguel currently running in the 5th position, Pabst running 6th. MTB, now your race leader, after Ikonen came into the pits. MTB still yet to make a stop, though. As realistically, you probably could have pit that time by. As we've seen these drivers go 15 minutes on the soft tire. Not entirely sure why he didn't pit there. He's running he's a second down on his personal best. Very interesting strategy. Ikonen now on the fresh medium tires. This is his outlap, as he will cross the line to start his first proper flyer on the new tires. Truth is currently running away a little bit. He's managed to pull another 1/10.5, I'd say, over Dean this time by, or probably about 1/10, as Dean continues to try to chase after him. And meanwhile, Lucky 7 now into the pits, onto the soft compound tire, as we would have expected. Toto now back up into the third place, excuse me. Although 7 seconds behind the net race leader, once MTB does come into the pits. As nighttime begins to descend on the mountain. And MTB does come into the pits this time. Now, because he stayed out, we would imagine his stop should be shorter, because he won't need to take as much fuel. The question is, can he get in and out within 18 seconds? As we'll watch as Ikonen now comes into the final chicane. And he will exit out onto the front straightaway. MTB into the pits. Only now getting the tires fitted, and there goes Toto. Or, excuse me, Ikonen's already through. And MTB is going to drop a long way down because of that overcut. Not working out for him in terms of the immediate track position. But he will exit on softs, and he will be able to push like hell to the end with now just 12 and a half minutes remaining in this race. Oh, and we have a spin. Nuke has gone around. I've just noticed he has lost it on the exit of turn 3. Oh, and he's going to have to be very careful with getting turned back around. As he does eventually get back going. Very unfortunate for him to lose all that time and track position. As Truth now, Dean has caught up by almost a second on Truth. Battle for the lead heating up in GR2. Dean looks to the inside, closes in at a rate of knots. They have a 10-second lead over 777. They'll have to be careful. 777 again on that same strategy as Dean. So if these two start fighting, he could find his way back up into this. It's Truth. Oh, Truth got held up behind Ikonen. Schumacher and Hakkinen a situation down into the final chicane, side by side, the two leaders. Dean using the traffic to his advantage, that lap car working as a pick as he has gotten around Truth. What a sequence of what a sequence as these drivers continue to battle it out. We'll see if Truth is able to get him back. Certainly a very impressive battle. Oh, and Truth's pick up a time penalty. He's run wide, or he's cut a bit too much curb. He will have to serve that down the next straight. He's gonna drop well outside of a second now because of that. That might be curtains for his chances at victory, unless something happens with now just 10.5 minutes to go here in this race. Truth will get ready to serve this penalty coming up here. Or perhaps he'll have to serve it next lap. I'll be honest, I don't exactly remember where the service point is on the circuit. As 777 now makes his way around the lap traffic. Same goes for Alec. Paps currently running in the 5th position. Miguel having pit fairly recently, running in the 6th position, bringing up the rear. So 40 seconds off the lead, so he'll need a bit of a miracle if he wants to get back into the fight. In terms of the GT3 class for the moment, Ikonen with a 6.5 second lead over Toto, who has made a tremendous comeback after his shenanigans early in the running. Speed currently running in the 3rd positioning class, MTB, trying to rally back, close in on this alternate strategy. First flying lap of anger coming in here, so we'll hopefully get a measure as to how much faster he's potentially running than the leaders. Tagging the wall a little bit on exit as he runs it down to the line. And a 52.0. So he's running about a second faster over Speed. Oh, he's not making up much time over Toto, and Toto, I think, actually is maybe about half a second faster than Ikonen at the moment. Although his tires are in a much worse position. So we'll see how long that lasts for. Looking at that, I don't see those tires going to the end, I'll be honest, folks. MTB will be fine to go to the end. Nuke as well will likely need to pit as again. Lucky 7 will be good on his tires. Lag, not quite as good, but with only 8 minutes remaining, that should be fine. Dean now already up to a 2-second lead over Truth, whose tires, like we said earlier, really starting to feel it as he will continue to drop. 777 has taken out about a second and a half. Big slides combined with the air. Oh, he drops a tire over the curb. He's going to have to be careful. But he does have the tire advantage over Truth, so potentially he could find his way up toward the front. Another purple sector for him. That's the second time this race we've seen him manage that. So we'll see if there's any chance of him being able to challenge for that second place. Alec running in the 4th position for now, but again, those tires really not looking too great. As he'll likely have to... there's a chance he might need to pit again before the end of this, as we have just under 7 minutes remaining. Pabst in a similar boat, but not quite as bad with the tire wear. And then, if Miguel wants to salvage a decent finish out of this, he's going to need to hope that some of these guys have to pit again. It's just how his strategy has worked out today. Toto, actually, I said his tires are really going to be feeling it. He's dropped down into the 51s again, despite the tire wear. As compared to, that would be why that gap has come down so much. A 52.9 to a 51.9, a full second quicker Toto was on that last lap. So as long as the tires can hold on, there is a chance. There is potential for Toto to potentially catch. Though with just 6 minutes to go, there's realistically only 3 laps left. So he's going to need a little more than a second a lap, one would think. And with lap traffic making their way through, that's not a guarantee. Gap now 5.5 with 5.5 minutes remaining. So realistically, he needs half a second. He needs to gain half a second each minute. Or no, he needs to gain a second a minute, excuse me. Dean continuing on, building up a very comfortable cushion, it must be said, as he now holds a 2.5 second lead. Truth has managed to re-extend that gap over 777 to now almost 9 seconds. Alec continuing to lap, managing to hold on to his tires for now. Though he does hold a 15-second lead over Pabst, so I would imagine he's just going to try to ride out these final 4.5 minutes. A lot of these drivers just currently running out on their own, it must be said. No one really running that close together, as I believe Toto's tires are starting to fall off the cliff. That gap has stabilized at 5.5 seconds, and now speed is actually starting to close back in. MTB continuing to close in on speed as well. Gap now under 5 seconds. Then rounding out the field, Nuke, Lucky 7, and Lag. All these drivers currently just kind of out on their own. Closest two on track are the 2 leaders, although, again, not exactly close, as that 3-second gap almost 3-second gap continues to grow, with now just about 3 minutes remaining left in this race. Gap relatively stable at 2.8. Truth actually gained about a 10th, almost gained a 10th through the opening sector. But now back into the tight. Truth, a little bit of ground back, and it does. Gap now back under 2.5. As he'll also get a bit of a slipstream off of this GT3. He could potentially get back under 2 seconds here with the run. Though I'm not sure what good it could do for him, as we have just 2 minutes remaining left in this race. He can see Dean up in the distance. His pit strategy put him ahead. The undercut worked. He pit early, he got ahead. Used those soft tires to his advantage, but now they are his detriment. As he's lost half a second in that sequence alone. Dean continuing to lead. Gap now already back up to 2.7. Or back already up to 3. He gained a lot of time in that final chicane. As they cross the line. Just about a minute, or just under a minute and a half to go. All these drivers just winding down the laps, it must be said. Dean and Truth still the two closest on track to each other as they make their way through. We'll ride on board with Truth as he tries to close in on the leader. Dean again being held up a bit by lap traffic. They're just not doing enough for him, unfortunately, as nearly contact there. Truth leaving it very close to the lap cars as he watches Dean sail on through. He sees his taillights up in the distance, but just nowhere to go, and he's gonna get trapped behind Speed. Oh, nearly a bit of contact as well. He's lost a lot of time here. Already over a second lost. He'll dive it up the inside to try to prevent any more time lost. It's just not gonna matter. As time expires, that is the 4 minutes. This is the final lap. Dean will round the final corner. A very strong and impressive drive, as it looked like we had a GT3 spun across the line. Dean will win it here at Trial Mountain. Truth will bring it home second. 777 rounds the final corner and will round out the podium for GR2. Looking back down, Ikonen was able to hold on. He will win in GT3. Toto brings home a solid second place position, and Speed rounds out the podium. MTB closed in at a rate of knots. He got within 2 seconds, just wasn't enough. Time ran out on him. And Speed will hold on to the podium place in GT3. That will do it for us here for round 1 of VPRL Season 9. Thank you all very much for watching. Be sure to tune in next Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern, where we will have round 2 at wherever the heck we're running. Either Dragon Tail or High Speed Ring. 2 fantastic fantasy circuits as well. So whichever venue we're going to, we will see you then. Thank you all very much for watching, and good night.